You've been feeling it, that strange tension in the air, the heaviness that sits just behind your eyes, the weight in your chest you can't quite explain. It's as if time itself is bending, like the hours are slipping through your fingers faster than ever. You try to ground yourself, but something always feels off, unstable, on the edge. Let me be clear. This is not just in your head. This is not just another week. And this is not random. This week is a cosmic alarm clock, and it's about to go off whether you're ready or not. Something is building, quietly, relentlessly, like a storm gathering beyond the horizon. You can't see it yet, but you can feel it in your bones. A pull, a pressure, a whisper from the universe that says, "Wake up. Time is almost out." This is your final warning before the energy shifts for real. This isn't just astrology. This is your timeline splitting. And who you choose to be in the next few days will determine who you become for the rest of the year. Think that sounds dramatic? Good, because it is. We're stepping into a week where Mercury begins to shift. Venus continues to retrograde. Neptune sets fire to our dreams, and a first quarter moon forces decisions you've been running from. These are not small movements in the sky. They're cosmic power surges, and they are targeting the parts of you you've been avoiding. You'll notice it in your thoughts, suddenly sharper, more restless, like something inside you is trying to wake up. You'll notice it in your relationships, old wounds ripping open, unspoken truths refusing to stay buried. You'll notice it in your spirit, the quiet realization that the life you've built might not survive what's coming. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud. Not everyone will pass this test, because this week doesn't care about your comfort zone. It doesn't care if you're tired or scared or not ready. It's here to tear down the illusions you've clung to and expose the truth beneath them. This is the universe's final attempt to shake you awake before it pushes you into the next chapter. Not gently, not kindly, but with fire, with force, with fate. The question is, will you rise, or will you fall back asleep just as the gates begin to close? Because this week, the energy doesn't wait, and time won't either. You're standing on the edge of something massive. You can feel it, even if you don't understand it yet. This isn't about astrology. It's about alignment. It's about who you are when the masks come off, when your soul is exposed, and when life demands more from you than it ever has before. So here's what you need to do right now. Like this video to anchor in the energy. Subscribe if you're ready to walk into this new era with eyes wide open. Drop the number 77 in the comments if you can feel that something's coming, because it is. And you're going to want to hear what it is. Because what's coming next in this video isn't just information. It's your survival guide. We're going to break down the events of this week, what's really happening, why it matters, and how to prepare before it's too late. Because this isn't a forecast, it's a warning. Are you ready to hear what's really going on? Let's begin. Right now, it may feel like everything is on pause, like the days are drifting by in a strange, slow motion. You wake up, you go through your routines, but something feels suspended, unsettlingly quiet. The world is holding its breath. And if you're sensitive to energy, you've probably noticed it most in the silence between thoughts, the restless dreams, the way your mind keeps circling around the same questions, the same decisions. But let me warn you, this stillness isn't peace, it's the eye of the storm. This week, the first quarter moon rises on April 3rd, and with it comes a pressure you can't ignore. This phase isn't gentle, it doesn't whisper. It's the universe staring you in the face and asking, what are you going to do now? It's the breath before the leap, the second before lightning strikes. A quiet test disguised as indecision, distraction, or delay. But those aren't accidents, they're signals, and if you ignore them, you'll miss the moment when everything turns. The first quarter moon is a crossroads. It forces friction. It shows you where you're stuck, where you've been avoiding action, where fear still has a hold on you. And here's the truth. You don't get to stand still anymore. This is the part of the story where something must move, whether it's a decision, a belief, or a part of you that's been hiding for too long. If you try to cling to comfort, you'll be swept away by the wave that's coming. This moment is short but critical. The pressure you feel is the universe demanding momentum, and the only question that matters right now is, will you move with it, or will you be moved by it? 1. Mercury stations direct. April 7th, but build-up begins this week. As the stillness of the week begins to tremble, you'll feel something subtle shift inside your mind, like a fog lifting just enough for you to finally see the road ahead. But clarity doesn't always arrive with comfort. Mercury is preparing to go direct, and while many will celebrate the end of the retrograde, what's coming isn't a sigh of relief. It's a challenge, a confrontation, a final exam after weeks of inner chaos. The truth is, Mercury never really brings confusion. It reveals it, and during this retrograde, you were never truly lost. You were being shown what was broken, what was misaligned, and what needed to be addressed. The delays, the miscommunications, the emotional spirals, they were never random. They were signals, warnings, lessons written in symbols and silence. Now that Mercury is beginning to move forward, the question is no longer what went wrong. It's what will you do differently now? Because here's where it gets real. This is the part where clarity demands action. This is the space between understanding and embodiment. You've come too far to go back. You've dug up the truth, faced your shadows, survived the detours. Going back to old habits, ignoring the red flags, pretending you didn't learn what you learned, that would be self-betrayal of the highest kind. As Mercury shifts, expect your voice to return. Expect long-stuck words to come to the surface. Conversations that never happened might suddenly demand your attention. Emotions you've swallowed will refuse to stay hidden. But this isn't just about speaking. It's about aligning your words with your truth. That's the test now. Can you communicate clearly, honestly, even when it's uncomfortable? Because the clarity you're receiving, it's not here to make you feel safe. It's here to wake you up. And what you do with it will determine everything that follows. 2. Venus retrograde continues, still active. And just as Mercury begins to move forward, promising momentum and clarity, another force pulls you inward, deeper, slower, more emotional. Venus is still in retrograde, and while the mind begins to find its footing, the heart is being pulled backward through time. This isn't the kind of retrograde that disrupts your schedule. It disrupts your soul. You may find yourself dreaming of people you thought you'd forgotten, feeling old pain rise in your chest for no obvious reason. Certain songs, memories, places, they suddenly carry a weight again. This is not a coincidence. It's not nostalgia. It's a reckoning. Venus retrograde doesn't come to remind you. It comes to reveal you. This energy has a way of reaching into the parts of your heart you've closed off. It exposes patterns you keep repeating in your relationships. The way you love, the way you chase, the way you run. It's not about the other person. It never was. It's about you. What you've accepted, what you've settled for, what you've mistaken for love. And that's the painful part, because healing isn't always beautiful. It's raw, messy, and often lonely. Venus doesn't come to break your heart. It comes to strip it bare, so you can finally see what's real and what was only a projection of what you hoped love could be. You can't build the new until you've buried the old. You can't call in a soulmate while clinging to ghosts. So ask yourself, who are you still holding on to in your mind? Who do you still talk to in the silence, even if they're long gone? What stories are you replaying that no longer deserve your energy? This retrograde is your chance to close the loop. Not to forget, but to forgive, to release, to reclaim your power. Because the love you're capable of, the kind that heals rather than wounds, can only arrive once you've made space for it. And right now, the universe is asking, are you finally ready to let go of what never loved you back? 3. Neptune in Aries, spiritual fire has begun. And just as the heart is unraveling, revealing the pain you've carried for far too long, something ancient begins to stir beneath it all. Something deeper than emotion, older than memory. A force that doesn't just ask you to feel, it demands you to rise. Because now, Neptune has entered Aries, and with it, a new kind of fire has been lit inside the soul. This hasn't happened in over 160 years. Let that sink in. No one alive has ever experienced this energy. We are stepping into uncharted spiritual territory, and nothing about it will be subtle. Neptune, the dreamer, the mystic, the planet of visions and illusions, has crossed into the sign of Aries, the warrior, the spark, the fearless pioneer. This is not a gentle alignment. This is a collision of dream and fire, and it will change everything. Neptune in Aries doesn't whisper dreams into your sleep. It throws them into the flames and says, prove you're worthy of them. It strips away illusions, not with softness, but with heat. False identities, burned. Spiritual bypassing, exposed. Comfortable lies, incinerated. Anything inauthentic will not survive this transit, because now your dreams aren't just pretty ideas, they are callings, and Aries will not let you ignore them any longer. This is the ignition of new missions, new paths, and new truths that your soul came here to live. It's not enough to meditate on your purpose. You have to embody it, fight for it, become it. That quiet version of you that's been hiding in the background, the one you've kept small to survive, is being summoned now. The one with the courage, the voice, the fire. Neptune in Aries is not here to comfort you. It's here to initiate you into yourself, into your mission, into a version of you that has no interest in staying silent, staying safe, or staying small. So the only question left is this: will you dare to follow the flame inside you, even if it burns everything you thought you were? 4th April. 3. First quarter moon. Cosmic crossroads. And now, as all these forces converge, Mercury shifting forward, Venus pulling you inward, Neptune igniting the flame, You arrive at the crossroads. The pause is over. The stillness is breaking. Because on April 3rd, the first quarter moon rises, and it does not come gently. This moon doesn't whisper. It doesn't suggest. It demands. It commands movement. You've felt it, restlessness beneath your skin, the urge to do something, say something, change something. That's not anxiety. That's alignment trying to break through. The first quarter moon is friction. It is pressure. It is the point in the lunar cycle where intention must become action or dissolve into regret. The universe is watching now, not for your dreams, but for your choices. This is the moment where many fall back, when the path gets real, when it stops being a vision board and starts being a test of will. Internal conflict rises here. You'll feel the weight of both timelines, the one where you rise and the one where you retreat. You'll hear both voices, the bold one calling you forward and the scared one begging you to stay the same. This is the threshold, and it will ask everything from you. There's no hiding in this moon, no maybe later. If you've been waiting for a sign, wondering if the timing is right, hoping for some cosmic green light, this is it. This moon says, decide, not tomorrow, not when it's easier. Now, because courage isn't just a concept anymore, it's a requirement. You can't move into a new chapter with old indecision. You can't evolve without discomfort, and you can't cross into the next version of yourself while clinging to the fear that kept you in the last one. So, what's it going to be? 5. Message of the week. The final wake-up. And now we arrive at the core of it all. The reason you've been feeling everything so deeply, so intensely, so uncomfortably. This week isn't just energetic noise. It's not chaos for the sake of chaos. It's alignment in disguise. It's the universe holding out its hand one last time before the floodgates open. This is the final wake-up call. The silence. That was the breath before the leap. The fire? That was your soul trying to burn through the lies you told yourself to stay safe. The storm. It's not coming. It's here. And it's inside of you. Every event this week has been building to this moment. Mercury giving you the clarity. Venus exposing the truth. Neptune lighting the fire. The moon drawing the line in the sand. And now, all of it is asking you, are you going to step up or sleepwalk through the most important transformation of your life? This is no longer about healing old wounds. It's about deciding who you are without them. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's realizing the moment has already arrived, and you either move with it or get pulled under by it. One version of you is standing at the edge of this threshold, ready to rise, but the other, the version built on fear, on settling, on pretending, isn't going to survive what's coming. That version can't cross into the new timeline. The door is closing, and you can't bring your past with you. So what will it be? Will you answer the call, or will you keep hitting snooze on your own evolution? Because the next chapter is being written now, and the pen is in your hands. Make the decision before it's made for you. So here we are, at the edge of everything. If you've felt the truth in these words, then you already know. This week is different. This is not just astrology, it's your soul's crossroads. The storm, the fire, the silence, they've all led you here. Now it's your move. If this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe for what's coming next, and share it with someone who needs to hear it right now. Drop the number 77 in the comments if you're ready to rise. Because this isn't the end, it's the beginning, and it starts with you.